Be professional.
I'm sorry.
Hi everybody, we're the Grocery Girls.
I'm Tracie.
I'm Jodi.
And welcome back to Off Our Needles.
Today we are talking knitting therapy. So I know we all love our projects that challenge us, that makes us, a better knitter, that makes us try something that we haven't tried before.
Yes.
But today we want to pull it back and pick projects and talk about things that make us
Just relaxing.
Relaxing knitting.
Yeah, spa knitting for your brain. I mean, there's all kinds of actual scientific studies that knitting is very meditative. But I feel like that's if you choose the right pattern. But we're also going to be checking in with our Jodi sweater knit along.
Last check-in.
This is fantastic. So we're at a really fun point in our sweater. We actually can see that finish line, and that's going to be really fun to check in and show you one last little bit of a trick in that section, and we'll get us on our way to the very end.
To the big reveal.
The big finish.
Yeah. We also have favorite things.
And we're going to do flip this stitch today.
Yes.
The first time I ever saw the instruction provisional cast on, I thought, oh, forget it. I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
but
it couldn't be easier.
I'm going to show you how I do provisional cast on. I learned, and it's so easy.
Yeah. And one other thing that we're super excited to talk about is knitting for charity, right?
Yes, absolutely. It makes you feel so good, and there are so many people in need that can benefit from our totally obsessive knitting, right? It feels really good to knit and give back, and we get the joy of making it, and they get the joy of needing these products because there's a lot of people. Yeah. So maybe we should get started.
Hi everybody, sweater check-in time.
It is. It's Jodi check-in number 3.
Yes, 3.
So we've been knitting like crazy, and our sweaters are officially joined.
Okay, it's morphing into an actual sweater shape.
It is. It looks amazing. And now we're coming to the real, I think, the super exciting part.
Up until now, we've knit straight stockinette except for a little bit of garter, right?
Yes.
So now we get to start the chart.
Now our cables are going to come into play, and the good news is every second round, you're decreasing your stitch count. So the rounds are getting smaller. So you're really, really in the home stretch. This was super, super fun to see the cables pop out and decrease, and then you've got your neckline, and then you've got basically a sweater.
So what are you showing us today?
Today, I'm going to show you, they call them raglan decreases, and that's where you end up getting these really cool pop out lines that are slanting. And in between, you've got a cable. And this cable I love, one leg of the cable in garter stitch and one leg in stockinette stitch. And I just think, with that mirroring our hem and our cuffs in the garter stitch, I just think it's a really beautiful detail. So I'm going to show you one of the rounds where we do all of that. We do our decreases and our cable. I've come up to my first set of markers, and those first 2 stitches before that are going to be a raglan decrease. The first decrease is a knit 2 together. And slip your marker. This is the part where we make our first cable, and it's actually the right twist cable. I'm going to put these first 4 stitches of the cable on a cable needle. You can choose either a hook style or a bar style cable needle. So here we're going to slip our first 4 stitches. For the right twist cable, these are going to be held to the back of your work. Knit the next 4 stitches. Now we're going to knit those 4 held stitches on the cable needle right off the cable needle. It may feel a little snug, but that's normal. Now purl 2. And slip our next marker. This is where our second raglan decrease happens. It's a slip slip knit. We're going to continue knitting across our stitches until we reach the next set of markers.
Well done.
Thanks.
Gosh, you made that look easy.
It is. It really is. And the only thing you have to remember is when you're starting your decrease round, the first and third cable are both held to the front. And then the second and fourth ones, you hold your stitches to the back on the cable needle.
Yes.
And your decreases are identical every time you come to those markers. So the right side and the left side are always that decrease.
Perfect.
Yeah. And so you continue going through your chart, doing your cable round every time you're supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the pattern, I have to mention, this is a spot where I had to say, Tracie, I need your help.
This is a really good question, though.
Yeah. So the chart tells you to do 1 through 24.
Yes.
And then go back to 9.
Yes. You only do those setup rows once, those first 8 rows. Yeah.
So then back to 9.
Yeah.
And then 24.
Yeah.
But for my size, that only gave me 20 decreases.
Yes.
So I'm like, where do I go now?
Yeah.
For me, I would have liked a little, maybe another sentence saying, go back in the chart and continue until you have the right amount of decreases.
So the information is in there.
Yeah.
Mercedes tells you how many decreases for your size.
Yes.
So as you're going through the pattern, I hope you've highlighted all the information that's pertinent to the size you're knitting, and just make sure you keep track of how many decreases you do. And it could be twice through the chart, it could be 2.5 times. Every size is going to have a different number of decreases that you're doing.
Yeah, my pea-sized brain couldn't
comprehend. No, I think this is a really good question, and I think this is going to help lots of people.
Yeah, I do too.
So you guys, you're in the home stretch. Every second row is shorter, and the cables are very easy to do, and I think they add such a beautiful, kind of elegant item on your sweater.
I do too. So next time we check in, we are going to be at the place where we are grafting underarms. So our sweater is basically finished.
You're cast off.
Yeah.
It's just some finishing techniques.
Yeah.
So that's it. I hope you guys are doing all your social media stuff and showing us your sweaters with our hashtags off our needles. And
don't forget.
Hashtag knit along.
Yeah.
Because we really want to see how you guys are doing with your sweaters, and that's Facebook and Instagram.
So it's favorite things tailored to knit therapy.
I know, and there are some really, really good ones here. I think this is really going to be fun.
Yes, there's some things that I didn't know, not that I know everything. There's some really groovy things that I didn't know about.
I know, there's some really fun things.
Yeah.
Starting with a really cool thing. How stressed out do we get when we're not organized? And when we feel like we've lost things?
Boom.
Who wants to be organized? This thing, it is the Everything Mary Knitting Tote. And this has been designed exactly for all the crap that we knitters need to haul around.
I feel like it was designed by a knitter.
It has to have been.
Do you know what I mean when you see all the
these
things?
exterior pockets are going to keep all of our smaller things organized.
Yeah.
And then when you open it up on the inside, it's just big enough for tons of projects, or that giant Afghan or sweater project. Everywhere you put your hand, there's a pocket for organizing.
Zipper pockets, Velcro pockets, regular pocket.
So my stress, I'm completely organized now with the Everything Mary tote, and I'm stress-free.
Okay, so everything you need can fit in here.
Well, I have a sweater, I have a sock, I have a hat, and I have mittens, and I feel like I could have a little pocket
for
all of them. Yeah.
For chocolate.
Chocolate. There has to be a chocolate pocket.
I know, everything.
That should be one of the bigger pockets.
It's got this great wipe-off nylon exterior.
Yeah, it's still great for hauling around all summer. I love it.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, I do. And it's so pretty, too.
Everything Mary tote.
Yeah.
Favorite. Okay, Norwegian TV.
Slow TV. Have you heard of slow TV? It is kind of this craze going on in Norway right now.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't even want to say documentary, but it's really more like an experience. The first one was this train trip. 7 hours of watching the countryside go by.
2 million views.
It seems like everybody in Norway watched this thing.
I know.
But the fun thing is they've done a few knitting themed episodes.
Yeah.
And the one that I really love, break a Guinness Book of World Records for knitting the fastest sweater from sheep to garment.
Did they wash it?
No, seriously. They've got this guy and he sheared the sheep, and then he's, giving the fleece to someone who's spinning right off the fleece, who's giving the bobbin to someone to knit, and hours of this. And I was mesmerized. It's all, of course, they're all speaking Norwegian, so it's mesmerizing.
I understood it.
Well, who doesn't? Anyway, Slow TV, the knitting ones, I think you guys might think are really fun.
And it's on Netflix. Did we mention that?
It is. And who's not on Netflix when we're knitting?
I know.
Netflix.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, I want to mention knitting with company retreats.
So this is all about relaxing. It's not your typical classes and things like that. You go to these beautiful, tranquil locations.
Yeah.
And there's designers there that are also attending, but you get to just sit and knit and talk about your projects. And that's really beautiful.
Okay, so that's a very different format from anything that we've talked about. You're going away to relax.
Yeah.
So another favorite thing are the Rebecca Danger monsters.
Oh, I love knit. Okay, so at some point in my life, our kids were of the age where they all wanted stuffed animals, and I just wanted to knit all the time. So I just knit a whole bunch of these things. I discovered Rebecca's patterns. I think she started publishing about 2011. And now she's got well over 150 patterns on Ravelry. Here's another one. They're super simple to knit. The way she constructs them is very simple, and you can just have fun with striping of yarn and the cute little faces, and they're very, very simple to knit.
Okay, so we have a bit of a parade.
We do. We've got some beautiful, relaxing projects. We thought we could inspire you with some knit therapy projects.
Something easy. The first one, keeping in the stuffed animal theme.
Yes. Okay, this guy is so cute. This is the Simple Bear.
This is the Simple Bear.
And I love that he's sort of an old-fashioned looking.
He looks
and
like
garter stitch, right? This whole thing's garter stitch. What's more not mindless, but relaxing.
Love it.
I have another inspiration, another idea for simple knitting that's relaxing on the go. We've got some beautiful socks. So these ones are the waffle cream socks, which I love.
This matches my sweater.
I know, and these are by Ann Hansen. So they're basically a ribbed sock, and you've got one little section where you do a cable.
Look at that.
Just a little bit here and there, so you're really...
Okay, this looks tricky.
No, not tricky.
Right.
Not tricky. And see, the little cables are really far spaced apart. It's not something that's happening all the time. It's basically just ribbing, very relaxing.
Because let's face it, we always have socks on the go for the summer.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And this is another pattern by Ann Hansen. These are her Tide Lines socks. So this is really cute, kind of like a little feather and fan lace, which again, very simple, very memorizable.
Look
very
at the
relaxing.
beautiful wave you get.
Yeah, and it's super fun in those variegated yarns because the waves look super prominent when you use a stripy kind of.
Well, it looks like you've used a striping yarn, but you haven't.
Yeah, I love those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item, this is a scarf kit. And in this little mini scarf kit,
these are
you
beautiful.
get all 3 of the patterns.
So this one's got a very simple lace repeat going on and one solid color yarn.
Yep.
This one, you're doing a really simple striping with some increases and decreases kind of in the middle here where you get it going in a chevron pattern. Yeah, so the kit is gonna have the yarn that makes all of these. So the kit makes all 3 of these guys.
All 3 of these. And these are fun. I mean, people love to wear knitted items, but obviously during the summer or warmer weather.
I think those are really cute.
You're not gonna be having a bulky scarf on, so this is a great alternative like that. Okay, what have you got?
Well, speaking of shawls. Yeah. Oh, God, I can't even with this yarn. This is the Swedish Lines shawl. Look at it. Tons of garter stitch. So now we're talking super relaxing.
So this is one I've seen before and thought, like before today, and thought, this has to be a knit that I knit.
Right.
And in this color.
Right. And so we're just doing some stripes, some easy garter stitch stripes. And then once you get up into this section, you're just got an eyelet row here and there. It breaks up the monotony, keeps you interested, and boy, does it make a beautiful shawl when you're finished.
I have one more that I would love to show, and it's called the Thistle Shawl.
Oh, I love this one. I do love this. This is really pretty.
So this one is a tad heavier. It's not something you're probably going to want to wear in the summer, but you're going to want to knit. Right? But look at the texture that you're getting with the stitch definition.
It's really beautiful. And it almost looks woven. So the technique you're doing is very repetitive.
Yeah.
And obviously memorized instantly. And you get this really beautiful, textured, almost woven like fabric.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it's so gorgeous.
And again, I mean, the colors that's chosen for this shawl, I'm just crazy in love with.
I do too. It could be one of those ones where you've got half skeins at home and you can knit it up.
It's one of those impressive ones that were super easy and people say, oh my gosh.
I know.
But it was.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And simple, relaxed.
So you can pick any one of these for some relaxing knitting.
We want you to be relaxed. We want you to enjoy your summer. We don't want you to have to think too hard. And so we hope you get inspiration from some of our knit therapy knitted items that we've shared. is flip this stitch where we have knit one of the patterns and we're going to pull out maybe one of the trickier spots.
Yeah, there's a great little technique in this one that I'd love to show you guys. This is the Jasmine Cowl by Emma Wilford, which is a really relaxing knit. We're talking knit therapy. Oh. This is perfect for that.
It's a tube, you guys.
You do. You're knitting it in a tube and you're changing color. You pick two of your favorite colors.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that I loved about this was the yarn that I used. This is Serena by Manos yarn, and it's a baby alpaca Pima cotton blend.
Okay, so I haven't knit with this, but I am a giant Manos fan.
I know, and it's just
Giant.
the colors are, first of all, are just so eye-catching.
I do love your colors.
Yeah, and this starts off with a provisional cast on. What's a provisional cast on?
What is a provisional cast on, Tracie?
A provisional cast on.
Let me show you.
Is something where you were actually creating a row of live stitches, usually using a waste yarn. We're always using a waste yarn. And you're going to come back to that later and pull out the waste yarn and do something with those live stitches. And in this case, we're going to be grafting the beginning of the tube to the end of the tube. And so we're going to be doing that Kitchener stitch back and forth. And you can't even tell.
It's seamless.
It is a seamless loop when you do that. But the first step is the provisional cast on. So we have a slip knot on our crochet hook, and we're going to bring our knitting needle up with our other hand. You want your working yarn to run under the knitting needle and your crochet hook closest to you. We're going to use our crochet hook and pull that working yarn gently through our slip knot that we put on the crochet hook. Now we take our yarn and move it under the knitting needle again. This is going to be a repetitive motion the whole way for every stitch. So let's do another one of those. Crochet hook, scoop your yarn through the slip knot. There we go. And move that yarn back behind your needle again. It's important to use a nice smooth yarn for a provisional cast on because we'll want to pull it out later. So this is a really repetitive. You just keep going until you have the right number of stitches. When you're done, just add a few extra stitches in a chain like this. And that's just going to hang on your work until we're ready to remove the cast on. It's very repetitive, and I think the only tips that I would give are keep your stitches loose and use a nice smooth yarn because that's going to really help at the end when you take it out.
And this little extra step at the beginning of your round makes for a seamless loop.
Like a true infinity loop.
Yeah.
It's a great technique, it's really simple, and I hope you guys try it. Welcome to Random Acts of Knitting. What's Random Acts of Knitting? These are things that we can do to help others with our knitting.
Yeah.
We've got some beautiful charities to share with you today.
We do, and we were so excited to share these with you because I didn't know about all of them here.
I know. Well, I definitely knew about this first one I want to talk about.
Yeah.
We are local yarn shop ourselves. We support the Knitted Knockers charity, which is knittedknockers.org. So you make knitted or crocheted breast prosthetics, and they get distributed free all over the world. It's in over 50 countries.
Yeah. It's
an amazing charity. You can get a knit pattern, a crochet pattern. You certainly don't have to do them in pairs, but you use a beautiful, smooth cotton yarn, and it's something that can breathe and it feels really, really good. And these women just love
So what I love about it, if they've really tailored it. I mean, obviously they're going to be different sizes to be knit or crocheted.
Sure.
And then here they have them in 3 different colors, so it's sort of you can customize them to whichever one you want for the different skin tone you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be like anatomically colors like that. We get them at the yarn shop all the time where they're kind of pink and blue and green, and we hear that the ladies like kind of the wild colors too. So there's no wrong choice when it comes to the colors, but you can get the pattern and the kit as well with a beautiful yarn to make some knitted knockers and drop them off.
We love that.
Yeah, it's a really, really good one.
Okay, so another one that that we really liked when we discovered it was called Knit a Square.
Yes.
And this was founded when there was 2 families living in Africa, and they came to realize that there was so many children in need that were abandoned, abused, and go without the basic necessities. What they do is they ask that you knit or crochet a square, and actually on their website they have the free pattern right there.
Perfect.
So there's no guessing involved.
Yes.
And then what they do is they ask for you to send it, and once it gets to Africa, they have volunteers that put it together and then distribute it, and it warms my heart thinking of that. Well, because we know how crochet is. I mean, I can have a square knit up in probably 20 minutes.
Right.
So.
Right. And every little bit really, really helps.
And we all have stash.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Another one that I came across and I love a lot is called Knots of Love. They crochet chemo caps and neonatal blankets.
Nice.
Which are in dire need, sort of, I think, at all places, right? Those are things that we need for comfort and, and the chemo caps, and also people suffering from like severe hair loss in other ways
like
as well.
Alopecia, right?
Yes.
People get sensitive and they get self-conscious, and let me tell you, it's just nice knowing you're doing something for somebody else.
Absolutely.
Right?
They had a goal their first year and they surpassed it by a lot. Over 12,000 chemo caps were donated the first year, and their goal is actually 1 million.
Yeah.
So I think we should, if we chip in and help them get there, that would be incredible because those are in dire need as well.
Yeah.
And short and quick, relaxing projects.
So those are just a few specific ones, but don't forget, in the description box below, there is going to be a link with lots of information about how you can get involved in charity knitting.
Yeah, and you can certainly do it in your hometown as well. There's homeless shelters, neonatal units, cancer wards, there's all kinds of things right in your backyard that would love to accept hand knit or hand crocheted items to help out those in need.
Yeah.
So I hope one of those is something you like to donate to.
We hope we've inspired you to knit for charity.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for our knit therapy episode.
I'm more relaxed already. I feel like there was lots of really relaxing, fabulous things in here today, as well as our random acts of knitting. And how fun was it checking in with our knit along?
I know.
We are so close to the end.
Don't forget the hashtag.
Don't forget the hashtag. Don't forget any questions you have. Pop into our Ravelry group, off our needles.
Yeah. So we hope we've inspired you to relax.
Yeah.
Find a project that you're going to get your zen on.
Absolutely, through patterns or retreats or whichever way you want to do that. And don't forget, maybe you guys know a charity that we don't know that would love some knitted or crocheted items. If you could tell us in the description box in the comments below.
And don't forget, all the information, all the links, everything you need to know about today's episode can be found right down in the description box below.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, you guys. Happy, relaxing knitting. And until next time, we'll see you then.
Wait.
What?
Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, and thumbs up. Could you give us a thumbs up? That would be great.
It is. Happy knitting.
Happy knitting.